this tree my dad used to bring us to when I was a child. We used to come round here and we used to collect conkers and we used to look for chestnuts. We haven't found any chestnuts yet, but we found lots of conkers. Over the other side of the bracken field are loads of actual sweet chestnut trees that we can eat. So we're going to make our way over there in a minute. Collect some of those too. Look! Oh my God! You see them?
Oh. Very cool.
Now that is what autumn's all about. Happy birthday to me! Yeah! We are going to collect lots of them, and we found some on the ground. Ow! And they're good sized chestnuts. You're posing with your chestnuts. Okay, I think we're about done. We need to leave some for other people and the squirrels. Well, that was a successful foraging trip and a lovely trip down memory lane. We just walked through that field to try and get to the big chestnut trees at the back that Dad used to take me to. This is a relatively young tree, so this may not have even been here when I was little, or it's a tiny sapling. But amongst the Himalayan balsam and the bracken, there's a hell of a lot of stinging nettles, let's put it that way. So we're going to take a walk back now, if I can stop stopping and picking them up, and go to my mum's, who's cooking me a lovely birthday tea with our old family recipe pie. And then we are going to watch Doctor Who, which I'm really looking forward to. And Wild Child, who adores Doctor Who, is really excited to have a female doctor, and I think it's really important for young kids, both male and female, to have cool female role models. And I hope you enjoy walking through the woods and foraging with us. Happy autumn, guys. Good afternoon, guys. Welcome back to Ophelia's allotment. It is school run time out there, so it's quite noisy. I do apologise if you hear lots of screaming children and cars. So, Al's got the day off work, so we've come up here to start some new projects, haven't we? Which are very exciting. We're going to tell you more about those in a bit. But whilst he's getting everything out so that we can set that up, I'm just going to see if I can find a bag. Yeah, there we go. Got a bag, and we're going to go and pick some beans. But these are our Christmas potatoes. We put them in here over the weekend because on Saturday night it went down to about 2, and I thought, well, with some fluctuations in temperature, that could be pretty much 0. And they seem to have done okay, but we have noticed we have blackening on the stems, and some of the leaves are going nasty, and that's got black stem too down there. I haven't been in that long, probably about 8 weeks, so I'm not expecting huge potatoes. We've got some more potatoes at home, so that's not the end of the world. But what I do have today is I was speaking to a fellow plot holder about our bean thief, and the fact that they've taken all of our beans that we were growing for drying and they've been eating them as fresh beans. And he said, well, I've got a load of beans here that I'm not going to eat that have just been left now, so grab a bag, come and help yourself. So we've got a lot. Let's take one off. See if I can open this with one hand. A lot of beautiful little jewels. pickers to harvest. So I'm going to go through here. He said just come in whenever you want. I've got permission. So I'm not breaking any plot rules here. I'm going to go in, I'm going to pick all the dry beans, and then he's just going to leave them, and the beans will get bigger and bigger and we can pick them, and we will have storage of dried beans for over winter, which is lovely. I think it was really nice of him. So I'll be buying him a few beers, I think. So yeah, there you go. Right, I'm going to get on with that while Alan brings everything out the car for us to set up our new project, and I'll tell you more about that in a minute. Bye bye. You know when somebody says take what you want, and you know there's loads there, and I've taken that many, but I don't feel right taking any more because I feel like I'm stealing because it's not my plot, which I know is silly. There's loads of beans on here. Some of them are dry still, some of them aren't quite dry, some of them are still like fine for eating, like nice size ones. But I'm not going to pick any more of this lot. I'm going to leave them until I see him again, so I know I'm not overstepping the mark. So yeah, there we go. Right, I think Helen's got everything ready, so let's go and see what our new project is going to be. Right, what we're going to do today as well is we're going to take the outside cover of this brassica cage off, because we don't need it from the butterflies anymore. But we're going to leave the top on because in all these trees we have loads and loads of pigeons. We're also going to do a leek reveal, which I'm sure you're really excited about. Right, are you ready to tell us what we're doing here? No? I'm not talking on the camera.
He's too shy.
He's too shy. You haven't come up with a plan yet? I'm pretty sure you have.
Yes. We're doing a big
And what are you doing, Roo?
I wanted this place to be a play place for me. Oh.
Right, okay.
And
So what?
then you guys can have this place and then
Just around there. Okay. So what are we doing? What are we going to build?
a polytunnel.
A polytunnel, and we're going to build it ourselves. And we're going to make it out of trampoline frames. It's going to be a bit of an experiment, but we've got everything for free. And we've got other stuff still at home. And then all we're going to need to do is buy the greenhouse grade plastic to cover it, which is going to be about 30 quid, Al? About 30 quid. So we're going to have a polytunnel for 30 quid, in theory. So what we're going to do, I think, is make up a couple of hoops first, and then find out where it all comes to. I'm going to take these tomatoes out today, so that we've got space. But I'm going to leave the cooking tomatoes and the marmades in, so they're starting to blush, so they're starting to ripen, so I'll leave those. Anyway, I'm going to start getting this polytunnel set up a little bit, and I'll show you how big it's going to be in a bit. Bye bye. Ta-da! Archway. Now it's not going to be this tall because we've got to sink these posts down into the ground a good way, so that only about that much of it is above the surface. So take that down another 2 foot, which will be pretty good, yeah? So this is what, 10 foot across? Yeah, so it's 10 foot across. I didn't necessarily want it that close to the pathway, but if we bring it across any more here, we're going to have to adjust these beds. Yeah, but we've got to dig the plastic down as well, so we're going to have to do it. It's probably come over another 15 centimetres, but that's probably about it. So it's, I think, have we got enough for 4 hoops or 3? You taking your shoes off, Roo? Yeah. Yeah, okay. 4. So 4 hoops, and how wide apart was each hoop? You don't know yet? Okay. Right. So it could be, if we're doing 3 foot apart, that's 3, 6, 9, 12 foot, or 4 foot apart, 16 foot. I think we figured out that 12 foot was from here, see where the borage is, and down to this second row of beans, didn't we? Yeah? So it's probably best to go for the 12 foot. Because otherwise, if we're doing another 4 foot on top of that, that's going to bring us to here. And that's too much space. And in the polytunnel, we've got, I think we've got about 35 different varieties of tomatoes that we can grow next year. Probably more, probably closer to 40 actually. Now I'm not going to grow them all next year, but we've got like 4 tomato beds planned in the garden, in the rest of the plot, and there. And we're going to grow indoor green cucumbers next year because the ones outside this year really were rubbish. And then we'll do some like aubergines and all that as well. So it's going to be a great addition to the plot. And also, if we do have to move it, these just, they slide out, slide apart, but they're really sturdy, especially when we've got the braces in the side too. It's going to be great, but we will be able to just literally pick it up and move it. So say the people on the next plot decide that they are giving it up after all, we could just shift it across. Can I get on with some other stuff now? Yeah? We're going to get on with other stuff. Okay, so this is our new brassica bed for overwintering brassicas. I'm going to weed it through now. As you can see, a couple of the... Sorry, where's that? There we go. So there you go. So this is our overwintering brassica bed. As you can see, some of them are looking a bit... Oh, that's encrusted with whitefly, that's disgusting. But they will recover over winter, it's fine. And yet some of them, like the ones up there, and these are doing fantastically. So what I need to do is I need to weed in here. Now this is the perfect time for weeding because the weeds are only little and we can slide a hoe through nice and easily and just chop all their little heads off. If you leave them to get any bigger, it becomes a mammoth job. Whereas with this, you can just nice and easily hit the rocks, blunt your hoe, and get the weeds out. But it's not really a job that you do with one hand, to be honest. So I'm going to put the camera down. I'm going to do this properly. You know what I'd love? I'd love an oscillating hoe. That's what I want. I'd love to try an oscillating hoe out. I'm going to have to look out for one. Right, I'll put you down. See you in a minute. Right, so that's that done. I'm going to get a little rake now, rake this through, and that'll be those done for a little while longer. What we've done here is, I need to take this plant up now, but we've harvested the squash. Look, it's trying again. It's what, the 8th of October today? I'm trying desperately to put out new flowers, but I've harvested the festival squash off this. So, whoop. Hello. You went for a little ride there. Sorry. So that'll be coming out today. This squash plant has got a baby squash on the end, so I might just leave it in, just see how it goes. This bean plant's got plenty of beans on, and then the ones further down have like 1 or 2. Can you guess why? These cobs of corn have come on really well. Really pleased. There's not many, but as an additional extra, like a bonus at the end of the season, I'm not going to complain. Hoed this over and need to rake it. Should we do a leek reveal? Okay, leek reveal. So, if you remember, that bed was full of leeks. They had the allium moth. We didn't think it was too bad. We harvested some and they were fine. But then there was allium moth in there, so we decided to take the last ones up so that they didn't get any worse. As it was, the whole crop was just a waste. So we dug it all up and left it, but they just discarded. But we had some leeks in here that we put in later and we've covered, but we didn't cover them for like the first 3 weeks. We did see some signs of damage, but we hoped that they'd be okay. So let's see what's under here. Can you spot any leeks? There's one. Destroyed. Totally destroyed. And we've got some lovely poppies coming up. We might transplant those. And the rest is just weeds. So the answer to can we just cover the leeks a few weeks after they should have been covered and hope for the best is no, that doesn't work. So that's all coming out today. This, oh, try not to fall over, Jasmine, is going to be broad beans. I'm going to get this netting off. And take the sides netting off now. Get this all cleared up. Look at this. Isn't it beautiful? The thing is though, underneath that is really manky, as are the ones that we've already picked. There's the whitefly are burrowing right inside and they're virtually impossible. I don't want to eat it, to be honest. It took ages for us to clean one up to get little bits off to eat. The ones that we have picked, they're re-sprouting. So we get extra little crops off that for the chickens. And we've got, I think this is ready to pick actually. It's starting to flush a bit purple. A little baby one there. And the purple sprouting is massacred by whitefly at the moment, but this one looks a bit better actually. Ugh, look at that. The horrible things. Kale's doing well though, and the red cabbage is finally starting to form a heart, and that's the only red cabbage we got after the child and the chickens destroyed them all. There you go. That's what it's going to look like. Let's get on the little tent. Right then, potato reveal. This is our last pot of main crop potatoes. And these are Valor. Are you going to come and find the potatoes? Yeah. We've taken up the leek bed and we've teased out all the perennial weeds. So there was a few thistles and a few dandelions. And we've taken those out and we're just going to dump the pot onto the ground, and then we'll just scrape this spent compost out. So we're really hoping that these have done well because we've got no big potatoes left. Our potato harvest has been absolutely rubbish this year. Right then, who's going to tip the pot?
Me.
Go on then. Tip it over. Tip it upside down.
Ready?
Boom! I can see a few. This isn't Valor, this is King Edward.
What?
You can see because they've got little pink eyes on them.
Hey.
So these are King Edward. Go on then. See how many we get.
Have had these ones?
Yeah, these make great roast potatoes.
Okay.
I know, I'm a bit disappointed that they're not Valor.
Why? Why?
Because Valor are my favourite potato.
But what about these ones?
These are good, but they're not Valor.
Oh, Mum, Joe, look at how much that is. Look at these ones.
They've done okay, haven't they?
Yeah. They've been way okay than that.
Well, there's loads.
Okay,
Whoa, there are absolutely loads. Now this was...
Look, he has a little snowman.
There's a little snowman. There was 2 seed potatoes in a 30-litre pot, and we just used standard compost with some organic potato fertiliser, which is from the Quid Shop, and then some chicken manure. Oh, look at the lovely worms in here.
Oh. These worms look really healthy.
Yeah.
They look kind of dead. Okay, they're moving. Okay, it's pooping. It's pooping.
There's not many big ones though, is there?
Yeah, kind of.
Oh, it's a heart.
Ah, seeds. Wait, what? Can I see? Can I see the heart?
It's a heart.
Oh! It's like...
2418, so these were planted on the 2nd of April. 2014, they've been in forever. 2018. You getting the last ones?
Oh! Whoa. Look at this one!
There's some more down by your feet. And yes, she's wearing her shoes. You try keeping shoes on her. You need to get all of these tiny ones out, because if you leave them in your ground, you're going to get volunteer potatoes everywhere next year, and it's a real pain.
Mommy, get these.
I'm getting them.
Okay, me going.
Can you get off it, please, so we can mix it around?
Okay,
See?
fine.
If you tread it down, then we might not be able to find them. Okay, I think that might be it.
When are
Here?
we going home?
Hey.
When we're done.
So how many hours until we're...
How many hours? At least 10. Right. So it seems there was 3 seed potatoes. One over there. One there. One there. 3 seed potatoes in a 30-litre pot. Gave us that. I'll weigh them when I get home. There's lots and lots of little ones. And a couple of like hand size, well, not even, well, palm size, but I've got really tiny palms. Put that in your palm. Yeah, it's not very big. I don't know. Lots of little roast potatoes in skins and a couple of bigger ones, but that's not going to make us chips, is it?
Nope.
No chips. It looks like we're buying potatoes in October, which sucks. That really sucks, because we didn't have to buy any potatoes last year until February. Was it February or March? Something like that, wasn't it? Yeah, February or March. So, not happy. Stupid drought. Right, so there you go. You get up. Potato reviewer, we're just going to rake that over the bed now. And we've got frame up where we kind of want it. The idea was that it'd come to here where the second bean row is, but I think we can afford to move it back another 2 foot to just before the tomatoes, which will take it to about the edge where that thing is, so still get a good wide path there for where the door is, and we can get a wheelbarrow in if we need to. So it's a nice size. It's going to be up, it's about 7.5 feet tall, and well, you'll have a bracer across the top, but it's going to be pretty sturdy. I'm pretty pleased. So I don't think we're going to do much more today, are we? No. Just get everything tidied up and do a bit more of a harvest, which I probably won't show you because you've seen me harvest plenty of times.